So this evening, we have a very special feature, and I am happy and proud to introduce the man of the hour. So it was 2 years to the day where Chris signed up into LifeWave. Wow. And in some ways, it feels like yesterday. And on another level, it feels like we've been here for a long, long time. And that's probably an indication that this is where we're supposed to be. Little did we know at the time that a tiny little patch, X39, with a company called LifeWave, will change our life forever. During the period leading up to signing up, Chris and I had a lot of conversations, a lot of discussions. It was a very big decision for us. We were considering closing down both our companies, and we wanted to make double sure. To this day, I will always recall the conversation where Chris said to me, "My angel, this is it. I have waited for this my whole life. My life has come full circle. This is it." And I saw it in his eyes. Interesting how that phrase is now the name of the team that we are a part of. And little did we know that would transpire. Once he commits, it's long term. His dedication, his focus, his passion, and his commitment to excellence is all I can say. He is the kindest, most generous man that I know. His work ethic is beyond any that is measurable in my world, or in any of ours, if you would agree. He is passionate about what he does. He is a perfectionist in many ways. We're working on it. He is a true entrepreneur in spirit, a deep love for passion, and an excellent communicator. Different and unique in so many ways. Many of you might have heard him say, "I'm not from here, I'm just visiting," and he will proudly show you his alien tattoo. My love.
Anybody that doesn't know, there we go.
It's got a smiley face.
Smiley
it's the
face.
most free
There we go.
alien that I've ever seen.
I'm just visiting.
Yeah. My love. Thank you for joining us on planet Earth for this journey. We need you. He's my life partner, my business partner, my galactic warrior prince, our team leader, head of this beautiful LifeWave family, with us, guiding us with his wisdom, his love, and his compassion. I'm so damn proud of you, my love. Thank you for everything you do for us, for the community, for the team, and for humanity. Here to share with you this evening his 2-year journey with LifeWave, Christopher Robin Hattingh, aka Alien One. My love, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, my angel. Thank you. All right, there we go. Wow, my goodness gracious. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And those of you that don't know me, that are new to LifeWave, my name is Chris, and I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. And today I've been part of LifeWave exactly for 2 years. I joined LifeWave on the 22nd of November 2022. And my goodness gracious, wow, what an amazing journey. But you know what, before getting into the journey, I'm not going to go too far into my history. I did do a talk beginning of the year where I spoke about what I've been doing in my life, where I shouldn't even be here, but there's obviously a much bigger purpose for me why I'm here today. But you know, everybody has gone through something in their life, and everybody's dealing with something in their life. It doesn't matter what it is. And you know, just go a bit further back, I started working at a very young age. I started working at 16. My mom and dad got divorced when I was very young. And after that, I went into the restaurant industry. And then from there, climbed the corporate ladder, studying traditional marketing. And, you know, I was young. I was like 21 years old. And I had my first job in the corporate world. I climbed the ladder. I was marketing manager of a company at the age of 22. But, already at that age, I knew there was something wrong with the traditional corporate world as we know it. Now, I'll tell you why. Two things. You know, I'm a hard worker by nature, always have been, and I've always excelled at everything I've done. And I realized I was putting in hours and hours and hours more than other people. But it's quite interesting how the bosses always earned more. And a lot of times I was putting in a lot more time and effort, but that stayed exactly the same. And I saw already at that young age something was wrong. One night I was working late again, as usual, and the financial director went and printed the whole company's salary slips by accident. He didn't know that he printed it, and I saw that. And that just confirmed with me at the age of 22, looking at the structure of the corporate world, and that you will not be able to ever out earn your boss. That is just the way it is. That's the corporate world, it's the way it's been designed. And only a very small handful of people get to the top in the corporate world. This is fact. How many companies are there and how many CEOs are there? Company can only have one CEO. But I'm going to bounce a little bit back and forth, if you guys don't mind, because now I'm going to be talking about the network marketing industry. Our top rank is what we call Senior Presidential Director. LifeWave has got over 400 Senior Presidential Directors. So what is that telling you? There's a lot of CEOs versus the traditional world of just having one. So things are like very reverse, but I picked up on that, right? So long story short, at the age of 22, I joined my first network marketing company. And it's the first time I ever saw a compensation plan. And I thought, my goodness gracious, this is the way the world should work. So at a very young age, I built a massive team in South Africa. I could only build in South Africa at that stage. I'm talking many, many years back, 26, 27 years ago. And unfortunately, the owner of the company passed away and the company shut down. And then from there, I went into direct sales for 10 years. And while I did that, I did over 15,000 appointments, 15,000. And that's where I really learned people skills, where, you hear the word, okay, so you're in sales, and people go, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson either. I don't regard myself as a salesperson, because the word sales, if you think about it, all it really is people skills with structure. That's all it really is. It's just people skills with structure. And it's the biggest thing is hearing people out. That's the biggest thing. And which I'm going to talk about a bit later. We've always got to remember we've got two of these and one of these. And it's about asking more questions. That's the most important thing. And using the ratio between your mouth and your ears. You've got 2 ears and one mouth. You only have one mouth. And and you've got to use it in relation. And you're going to learn so much more when you're asking more questions. So always remember that, because I find a lot of people, I get annoyed with salespeople. Going to buy a car. Oh, my cat. My goodness gracious. One of the most annoying things ever. And the person says, yak, 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 yak. And their mouth is just going and going and going. And they don't ask any questions. All they're trying to do is sell you, sell you, sell you. And that is the most frustrating thing, where what we're doing is we just share. All we do is we share with people and we share stories. That's all it is that we do. But so anyway, from there, yes, I was working for a company, but I was a commission-only salesperson. So I was really in my own business, just working within a company structure. But from there, I went into children's toy industry. So guys, that's what I've been doing the last 10 years prior to LifeWave. I was in the toy industry. So I didn't join LifeWave having been in the network marketing industry and brought a whole team across. I mean, out of the industry for over 2 decades, guys, 2 decades. So, what happened was I ran an international children's toy brand. And then we all know what happened at the end of 2019. The pandemic kicked in, and beginning of 2020, my life completely collapsed. My company that I owned for 12 years collapsed. Now, I don't care how strong-minded you are, how positive thinking you are. When you've had your own business that you've built from scratch, from a garage at your house, and you turned that into an international toy brand, and it closed down because of a pandemic, COVID, something that was out of your control, you're going to hit a little bit of depression. And that's what started to happen. Everything I was touching was just, nothing was working. Nothing was working after that. Straight after that, collapsed. Silly Chris, only my own fault. I went and put the last bit of money that we had into a cryptocurrency scam. Oh my word, guys, this was rough during COVID. You see the messages I get on Facebook at the moment, people telling me about these percentages and all that stuff. Guys, run for the hills. There are so many scams out there. It is just absolutely crazy. But I didn't know. I was naive. I was wet behind the ears. Put my money in, it collapsed, and then I basically hit rock bottom. And then straight after that, I was putting like a global stockfell together, like a little gifting community type thing. And that's when I met George. And we started chatting, we started becoming friends. And I was working really hard. I was working 14, 16 hours a day and not earning any money. And that can also get you as well. That can really, really get you. And I hit burnout. I was tired. Anybody that can remember me from 2 years ago, I had black rings under my eyes. My beard was completely gray. I mean, look, check at this, guys. Look at this. Look at my beard. Look at how black it has gone in the last 2 years. 2 years ago, my beard was completely white. You can ask Sandy. She was making a comment about it the other day. In fact, even the side of my hair here was going completely gray. And it's gone back to normal color. My receding hairline has also moved as well. So, yeah, and this is what happens. Being on the patches for 2 years, you basically reverse age. You reverse age. I was in the shops today, and I popped into my dentist, and we were standing in the queue there, and he said, "Chris, wow, you are looking younger. What are you doing?" Okay, listen, I've got patches today, like you have no idea. I've got like 2 patches there, 2 patches on this arm over here. I'm on the jet lag protocol. So when he saw my arm, he was like, "What is that?" I told him about the patches. And I said to him, "Lucky, I told you about these patches when I was at you a year ago." And he goes, "Yeah, I remember you mentioned something like that." But anyway, we started talking and spoke to him more about the business side today in the queue. And guess what? He said, "Chris, will you please send me some information tonight?" To my dentist standing in the queue. I think because he noticed that I'm looking different. I feel great, guys. 2 weeks ago, I turned 50. It was my 50th birthday 2 weeks ago, to the day, actually. And I feel on top of the world. I don't feel like I'm 50 years old. I feel like I'm 35. I seriously feel like I'm 35. And that's what these patches have done. They've completely transformed my life. But 2 years ago, guys, 2 years ago, my goodness gracious, I had no direction. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was in a hole, guys. I was in a deep hole. I was in despair. I don't know. I don't know if I even wanted to be on this planet 2 years ago. And I was depressed. I was borderline depression. And as you guys know, George sent me a message. Middle of, I was on a Zoom call. Middle of October, I was sitting on a Zoom call. And George sends me a text message while I'm on the Zoom call. And he says, "Hey, Chris, you look like shit." That's exactly what George said to me. Okay, guys, I'm not saying go and tell your friends now that they look like shit to, working on your name list. Be careful what you say to people. But George was able to get away with it because we've got a good relationship. And I just said to him, "Ha ha, thanks for the compliment." And George said, "Chris, I don't mean this from a bad place. You really don't look good, and I've got something that can help you." And he told me about the patches. And I thought, "Really? You're telling me a little sticker can do all that. I'm like, oh, George, really, whatever. Let me tell you, guys, we can take a feather out this book because of George's persistence. He was very structured. He didn't just send me a million messages on one day. He sent every like 2 days. But guys, George was consistent. Every 2 or 3 days, send me something, and then a testimony and something else and something else. George sent me 21 messages. Guys, 21 messages. And it was only on George's 22nd message that he sent me a 6.5-minute voice note telling me about 2 testimonies. And that's when I said to him, George, you've got my attention. So I said, George, send me more info. You know what he said to me? Scroll up. Because he'd already sent all the info over the last 6 weeks. And so what I did was I said, George, I'd love to join. And at that stage, $125. I'm going to be very transparent and open on this call this evening. I didn't have $125 to join. Guys, when I tell you 2 years ago, I had my back against the wall. I had my back against the wall. I didn't know how I was going to put food on the table. I didn't know how I was going to put petrol in the car. I didn't know which way to turn. I did not know which way to turn. Do you know what I had to do? I had to phone my ex-business partner that lives in Canada, and I hadn't spoken to him for 4 years. And we didn't part in the best company. So you can imagine how hard it was to pick up that call, that phone, and phone him. It's one of the hardest calls. I needed to ask him to get toys, children's toys on consignment so that I could go sell them at a flea market. And that's what I did. I got the toys on consignment. I went with Lucinda, and I spent 3 days on my knees. I spent 3 days on my knees. And that's what I did because I was on my knees. Children are small. I had to meet them at eye level. And that's where I was for 3 days, selling toys to be able to earn the money, to make the money so that I could join LifeWave. That's how I started. That's how I started. And, you know, I've had some people making some comments, people I've met like recently, and they're like, oh, look how lucky you are. Oh, you were just in America. Oh, you were in the UK. Oh, you've got it so lucky. You've got it so easy. You've had it so easy. And I'm like, no, it didn't start that way. It didn't start that way. I started with my back against the wall 2 years ago, which I didn't know which way to turn. But I took a leap of faith. And what I did was I registered 2 days later. So it was the 24th of November. My patches arrived. I'll never forget. This little envelope arrives. I open it up. I take this little patch out, put it on the back of my neck. And guys, 5 days later, some of you know the story, some of you don't. 5 days later, all I can say is it felt like a veil was lifted off my head. I could not believe the amazing clarity of thought that I had. My thoughts was like when I was in my mid-20s. I could not believe the mental clarity. The brain fog, guys, the brain fog subsided in 5 days. Now, I don't know if there's anybody on the call right now that knows what brain fog feels like. It's debilitating. Same time, I suffered from vertigo. I had vertigo for 4 years. 4 years I had vertigo. I was taking motion sickness tablets 4 or 5 times a week to get rid of the vertigo. And after 3 weeks of being on the patches, my vertigo disappeared. My vertigo is gone. Been like that for 2 years. But I'm going to jump straight in. The biggest turning point for me was, so I get my brain back. I'm all excited. I've got my mental clarity, and I go see my mom. Now, my mom got diagnosed with a disease called fibromyalgia. Now, fibromyalgia is a muscle degenerative disease. It used to be called yuppie flu and Epstein-Barr virus and chronic fatigue syndrome. They only named it about 10 years ago. We took my mom to doctor after specialist after specialist after doctor, and all they prescribed was heavy medication. And nothing got rid of my mom's pain. My mom's pain was so bad that she would not sleep for longer than an hour per night. She used to buy a thing of tablets, paracetamol tablets in a thing of 100 guys. Listen to this. My mom would take 100 tablets every 3 days. That's how much paracetamol my mom was eating. She was chewing it like Smarties. The side of my mom's mouth was white, chalk. Also, she would cry, guys. I would hear my mom crying from the pain. Do you know what it feels like as a son, not being able to do anything for your own parent, where the pharmaceutical industry couldn't do anything? The medical profession couldn't do anything. I felt helpless. I felt powerless, that I could not help my own mother, that there was nothing we could do. So I go see my mom. I say, Mom, I've got something that can help you. She says, what is it? And I told her about the patches. And she said, please, my boy, come on, this is a load of rubbish. You're telling me a little sticker. We've gone to specialists. We've been to doctors. You know nothing's going to fix me. Let's just come to terms with it. Nothing will ever fix me. This is my life. I said, Mom, we're talking about frequency. And that was one of the big things that got my attention when I was talking to George. You know, the moment George said to me, Chris, these patches work on frequency, I was like, hang on a second, frequency. He got my attention because, guys, everything in the world works on frequency. So I'm not getting all woo-woo here. I'm talking about scientifically proven. Every single thing resonates. This pen, this little box, this little tin, this bottle, everything in this world, the water I'm drinking, everything resonates at a certain frequency. So I get that. So I told my mom this works on frequency. And so anyway, I said, here's some patches. I patched my mom straight away. And 3 days later, she sends me a message and she says, Chris, my toothache has disappeared. Do you think it can be the patches? I said to her, how long have you had toothache? She said, 6 months. I didn't know that. So I messaged George, do you think the patches could take the toothache away? He said, hell yes. I messaged her back. So she goes, what must I do? I said, keep patching. So, and also during that time, my mom had a cyst in her nose for 2 years that was leaking. And after 2.5 weeks, the cyst turned into a scab and fell out of her nose. Her cyst disappeared, where she had ointments and antibiotics and creams. None of that worked in 2 years. None of that worked in 2 years. Patches got rid of that in 2.5 weeks. So I'm watching this thinking, okay, I'm trying to find out about the fibromyalgia and the pain, but now she's telling me about the toothache that's gone, her cyst disappeared. I'm like, can we just get past this quickly? I'm waiting for the results on the fibromyalgia. And guys, it was 3.5 weeks later. 3.5 weeks later, my mom phoned me and she was crying. Now, guys, you know what it feels like when your mother, she was 70 then, she's 72 now, she's on the phone crying. You get worried. You get worried. The first thing you think of is what's gone wrong. It's the way we've been designed as humans. We always think what's gone wrong. And she was crying out of joy. She said, my boy, I don't know how to tell you this. I slept through pain-free for the first time in 16 years. Because of the X39 patches. Guys, that day was the turning point for me. That was the turning point for me. That's the day I said to Lucinda, I said to her, Angel, this is it. This is it. And that's when I decided I'm going to put my heart, my soul, I'm going to put everything into this. And that's what I did. The first, the first, let's call it the first 3 months, I had to South Africanize things. So I was ignorant on fire, guys. I was ignorant on fire. There's a couple of people that are on the call that signed up right in the beginning days. I remember talking to Helen. Helen was one of the first people that joined me right in the beginning. And she's asking about it. And I said, I don't know. It's just a sticker that you put on and it does all this stuff. How does it work? I don't know. I'll see if I can find some info. I'll get some info from George and I'll forward it to you. I don't know all the science and all the stuff. I just know that you put the sticker on and this is what it does. So I didn't get too technical. I didn't get like over technical on it. And I think make another note here. As we go in a bit deeper, sometimes we can end up becoming a little bit too technical and we can come across a little bit too much like doctors. And the problem when we do that is you can talk about all the big things. You can talk about this increases your mitochondria, which works on your photobiomodulation and increasing the cells. This. Well, okay, I know the big words because I've been working on the toolbox, the updated one, and I know all these big words. This is just for people that might want to read it in their spare time. But guys, when you're talking to people, don't talk about photobiomodulation and mitochondria and how it's doing it. Don't do it. You know why? Because people are going to think, can I do that? So if it's, Helen, there we go. I was just going to say, if it don't duplicate, don't do it. Every single thing you must make sure is duplicate. Now, I remember the one training that said you got to dumb it down. I reckon, what do you mean dumb it down? That doesn't make sense. I understand everything. But now as time goes by, you've just got to be yourself, guys. You've got to be yourself and don't change. And so what I did was, I'm known, as you guys know, I'm like the voice note king. And I went back to basics, guys. I just made you good got my pen out, and I made a good old-fashioned name list. Now, don't forget, I've been out of the industry for 2 decades, guys. 2 decades. So some of the people that I was talking to were people that that cryptocurrency scam, that I introduced that to some people. Some people were angry with me. They were angry with me. Right, to go and talk to them about making money or anything, they would have told me to go fly a kite. I didn't talk about the money. I spoke about this amazing product. And that's what we do, because this product is so different and so unique. Still, here we are. The company is 20 years old, as we know. The company let's just say it got registered 20 years ago. But I'd say it only started 4.5 years ago when X39 was launched. That's what's put LifeWave on the map. And, the rest is history. I'm not going to go too far into that. We know what's happened with LifeWave, the way this company has just done that. So, it's a startup company, 20-year-old startup company, as we call it. And things are just doing this because what this amazing product is doing for people. It's just it's insane. What I've seen in the last 2 years is nothing. I can see George nodding his head, nothing short of a miracle. But so what I did was I made a name list of just people I've known over the years, and all I did was I just started sending voice notes and information. And I tell you what, because guys, the information that George was sending me was good, but it was George's voice that stopped me in my tracks, because when a person sends a voice note, they're hearing your voice and they can feel the emotion, where sometimes a text can be a bit flat. So leave a voice note. Guys, I can talk to easy 150 people in a day. There's no ways I could talk on the phone to 150 people. It's like literally, it's impossible. But I can talk to 150 people in a day using voice notes, because that way you can get through everything very quickly. And what I find is, I've done this before, where I've been on the phone with somebody for an hour, 45 minutes. And I say, right, what is the main purpose that we actually want to talk about? That was spoken about in 2 minutes. So you be careful about wasting too much time. While they get to the point, send a voice note. If it's like something important, send a voice note, get to the point quickly, and then we can set up a call afterwards, and then we can chat on it, because it's all about utilizing your time correctly, because every single one of us get 86,400 seconds a day. Every single one of us, 86,400 seconds, no more and no less. We all get given the same amount of time during the day, and it's what we do with it, what we do with our time. So I just sent out voice notes, and I was just signing up people. But, something that's very interesting is, when we signed up in South Africa, there was nothing going on. I said, George, is there anything happening in South Africa? He goes, no, not that he knows of. You guys are basically it. Now, most people say, what's happening in that country? What meetings can I plug into? Who can I go and see? Who can come and see me? I was the exact opposite. When George said nothing is going on, I said, hallelujah. I said, I'm so happy nothing is going on, because if nothing's going on, I decided I'm going to create it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And Lucinda and I, we had our first home meeting. There were 4 people at Sandy's house. 4 people. That was our first meeting, guys. And from there, the next meeting we had, I think we had like, I don't know, 6 people. And that's how we started. Now we have meetings all over the country at the moment on Saturdays during the week, Tuesdays. But we all started with a handful of people. And then obviously we started the Zoom calls. I've got the YouTube channel. I launched the first toolbox. Guys, I've been working in the background on the updated toolbox. I've probably put about 60 to 70 hours already this week. When I tell you I've been working around the clock, I work like a shongololo. I work like a shongololo. Okay, anybody that's not South African on the call, you're probably hearing this word for the first time and you're thinking, what is a shongololo? A shongololo is those little worms with shells over them, they're like armadillos, right? And they curl up into a ball. And then when they walk, they sort of unravel themselves. And it's a worm that's got a shell around it with lots of legs, hundreds of little legs, right? And that's the movement of a shongololo. It like goes, and then so the whole body is moving, but the legs are going and they're doing this. That's how shongololo moves. You watch those little legs moving like that. So I work in spouts like that. So I'm like working really hard now, and I pull like a millipede. Yes, there we go, a millipede shongololo. And that's sort of like bringing up the word shongololo. That's how your business works, guys. Make a note of this as well. That's how the business works in the beginning, right? It works like a shongololo. It's going to go and you'll see some income coming in. You sign up a couple of people, then it might pull back a little bit. And then you sign up another person or two, and it starts doing that. And it starts doing that. And you just watch the income do this, and it does that. And then it does this, and it does that. But it's always on a trajectory of going up. I mean, if you look at, like, say, the stock market as an example, you never see the stock market doing a line straight up, right? It's doing this. It's called a pullback in stock market. But it's going up the whole time, but it's doing pullbacks in between. That's how it works in the business. It's completely normal. So, yes, so what we did was, I just like made my name list, and basically as of today, I've signed up personally 62 people. I've signed up 62 people in the period of 2 years. So that is, let me work this out, 62 people divided by 24 months. There's 2.5 people. I've signed up 2.5 people per month. So I might go where I've signed up maybe, let's call it 4 people in a month, 5 people, and then I go like, say, 3 months where I haven't signed anybody up. So we're just talking about an average of 2.5 people and 62 people. Now, guys, what I'm going to say to you now, I'm saying this to you not to impress you at all, but to impress upon you what this beautiful industry can give you. As of last week, that 62 people has turned into just over 10,000 people. George sent me a message. He says, Chris, you've got 10,000 people in your team. I'm like, holy moly. Yowzers. Your brain. I mean, if you had to tell me this 2 years ago, I would have said, guys, you smoking your socks. Understanding the network marketing industry, where I've got to now, would normally take about 5, 6, maybe even 7 years. I was talking to Uli. Uli, originally from Germany, he's in Cyprus at the moment. We had a chat a while back, and we were talking a bit of a deeper level because Uli understands the network marketing industry. He's been in it for many, many years, decades, in fact. And I was very open with Uli. I was telling him my structure, my team, and he was asking my income. And, I told Uli my income, and he said, Chris, did you know that a lot of people in traditional network marketing, they only earn that type of income after 10 years? I think it was 10 years, Uli? It was 10, yes, yeah. Uli's nodding his head. Uli said, Chris, your income, people only get you after 10 years. And I thought, my goodness gracious, wow. And it's because of this product, guys. Do you know what a gift we have? I'm calling it the gift of no competition. The gift of no competition. I don't think you guys understand what a gift it is to be working in this beautiful industry. Now, the industry has been around. Listen to this, guys. This is a 136-year-old industry. That's how long network marketing has been around, for 136 years. Do you know what? And the thing is, in the network marketing industry, the reason why so many people battle, I'll tell you why. Because everybody is selling a Me Too product. Do you know how hard it is in the network marketing industry to be selling a Me Too product? Because it's much of a muchness. You're comparing your powders, you're comparing your oils, you're comparing your pills. Mine's better, yours is better. Mine's better, yours better. Price war, this war, that war. Guys, what we've got in our hands right now, we have no competition. We have no competition, as we all know. LifeWave's got not one, not 10, not a 50, not 100, 150 plus patents. Guys, 150 plus patents. A lot of people say, huge guts. It's the energy enhancer has got a couple of patents on it. You got the IceWave, a couple of patents on it. And we've got the baby over here. This is the baby. Oh, X39. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, when I hold X39 and I hold this, I get excited 2 years later. As excited as I was 2 years ago to open this envelope, every time I open up a new sleeve, I get just as excited putting this onto my body. What this is doing for the world, oh my goodness gracious. All I can say is, wow, wow, wow. Now, the amount of patents that the X39 has got, guys, as we know, it took David 10 years, not one, not five, it took him 10 years to bring this to the market, and $4.5 million. $4.5 million. That's what David Schmidt had to put into it. And, he took the risk and he had the patience. All we've got to do is sign up. Our patches arrive. We don't have to worry about the manufacturing. We don't have to worry about this beautiful product design, stock holding, distribution, research, development. We don't have to worry about that, putting the patents on the product. All we've got to do is just register and share it with people. Everything else is taken care of. We have a business in a box, guys. I mean, this is like, I want you to look at LifeWave and the industry as a mini franchise. Look at it as a mini franchise. Now, I don't know if there's anybody on this call that has ever owned franchise or has maybe inquired about getting a franchise, a turnkey operation. Guys, a proper franchise, you're looking at a lot of money. A lot of money to get into a franchise. And when you get into a franchise, if you eventually do be able to get one, the problem is they're quite syndicated, most of them, because once one person's got one, then they get two, then they get three, then they get five, and they become friends. It's very difficult in the franchise world. So it's very hard to get one. But what I want to touch on is the training aspect when it comes to a franchise, from McDonald's to KFC to Chick-fil-A, we're just in the USA now, or Nando's or whatever. Guys, the extent of training before you're allowed to open a franchise is hundreds and thousands of hours before you're allowed to even open those doors, before you even allowed to open the doors. Yeah, you register. We highly advise that you do an element of training. Training is vital. I'm going to touch on that just now. To master anything in life, you've got to put 10,000 hours to master anything, 10,000 hours. But here we are. We've got a little mini franchise in our hands. And so here we are in the network marketing industry with this unique product. And like I said, always remember this as the gift of no competition. Now, why did David Schmidt, he made a decision 20 years ago. He had a very important decision to make in 2004. In 2004, when the Olympic swimming team won all the medals, right? When Michael Phelps and all the swimmers got all the gold medals, that's when everybody contacted David Schmidt and said they'd love to become an agent. David Schmidt nearly put this product onto the shelves. He nearly did that. If this was on the shelves in Walgreens and this game and clicks and all that type of stuff, this product would be selling for about $300 to $400. David mentioned that on stage the other day. $300 to $400, because in retail space, anybody that's been in retail, there's a supply chain that needs to get paid along the way. And there's a lot of middlemen that need to earn their money. And David Schmidt made the decision to put this into the network marketing space. And I tell you why. Because in the retail space, you've got these retail giants and owned by shareholders, and they all make lots of money. And here you get a handful of people all making a lot of money, okay? Where network marketing is, in its purest form, redistribution of wealth. That's what I love about this beautiful industry. Instead of that 60% margin going to these fat cat retailers and all the retail giants, that 60% rather goes back to the distributors, to the brand partners. And that's why I call it redistribution of wealth. And, you know, what you put in is in direct proportion to what you get out. In direct proportion to what you get out. And that's what's so different about the job world, the JOB, job standing for just over broke. That is what a job stands for. And earning a job, you're earning a salary. Salary equals slavery. And I'm just going to say it straight as it is. Salary equals slavery. If you get paid, and I'm going to be very direct, your boss owns your soul, because they will tell you when to be at work, what time to be there, when you're allowed to have a tea break, when you're allowed to have a lunch break, when you're allowed to have your second tea break, and then they dictate to you and tell you when you're allowed to go home. They'll say when you're allowed to take vacation, when you're allowed to take leave. I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of the year. That's the world that we live in. So you get dictated to. You don't have your time on your own time. You're trading time for money. That's what happens in the traditional world. You're trading time for money. If you're not actively there doing your job, you're not going to get paid. I want to ask every single person on this call right now, if you had to walk in on Monday, if you're working for a boss, if you had to walk in on Monday morning and go to your boss and say, I'm taking 3 months off, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? If you ask your boss on Monday morning and you say to him, I want to take 3 months off, well, let's have a look. You might not have a job by Tuesday. And he's going to tell you to go fly a kite. That's just the way it is. There's no ways you can do that. It's absolutely impossible. And what's so scary is what we've seen through COVID. I think for the last 4 years, people have woken up a little bit. And I think people have realized that in the job world, we've always known, we've heard this for many years, that when you're working for a company, you're just a number. And I thought, okay, I sort of get it, but I don't get that. But during COVID, I think everybody realized that people are just a number and people's days are numbered. Guys, the way AI is kicking in right now, we're not out of the woods yet. Guys, we're not out of the woods. COVID made a very big difference in this world. Now we're moving to the next phase. AI is going to be taking over a lot of jobs. But you might think, yeah, but my job is not RT, so I don't have to worry about AI. It's not that. It's the knock-on effect of what AI is going to be doing. So everybody needs to get a side hustle going, like basically yesterday. Because don't wait until the shit hits the fan. Don't wait, because guess what? It is inevitable. It's happened to me, and it's happened to a lot of people on this call. See what happened with Paul. Paul was working in the restaurant industry. He had a motor car accident. He became disabled. He wasn't able to work. Guess what? Sorry for you. They didn't care. That's just the way it is. And there's a lot of people that have been through this before. Don't wait for that to happen. Start making a plan now. And that's what you can do. That's what I love about this industry. You don't have to jump in, go full time. Your 9 to 5 pays your bills. So guys, I'm not like dissing a job. I'm not saying go and fire your boss tomorrow. What I'm saying is do what you need to do to put the food on the table. We understand that. Your 9 to 5 will pay your bills. Your 6 to 10 is where you build your empire. Your 6 to 10 is where you build your empire. And that's where you're not trading time for money. Because the moment you stop working, the income stops. The moment you stop working. Now, what's very scary is people work up to the age of 60. And then what happens is you've had your retirement policy that you've been paying for all these years, and then you retire. And then what happens is, now people don't understand this. There's the silent killer called inflation. Now, you've retired, you're earning your income. Now, you can't touch your capital, because the moment you touch your capital, your monthly income that you're getting goes down, right? You can't touch your capital. But what happens is you're earning your monthly income, and that's capped because no more money is coming in to make it increase. So what happens after 5 years? Is it just in South Africa? But this year, has the price of everything just gone up? Have you guys seen the prices on the shelves? My goodness gracious. Guys, I'm talking about something like really simple. I know it sounds quite weird, but it's something that got my attention. My deodorant that I put on. Guys, it used to be 59 Rand. It used to be 59 Rand, okay? That was like March, April this year. That same deodorant that was 59 Rand is 93. Guys, how do you go from 59 Rand? You don't go 59 and then 65 and then 70 and then 75 and then 80. Guys, it went from 59 to 93. How do you explain that? Guys, things are getting expensive, and it's doing that. And if your income is not increasing to what inflation is, you're farming backwards. That's just the reality of it. We have to be doing something to make provision for that. So what happens is that you've retired 5 years later, all of a sudden, inflation has gone past what you're earning. And that's why we need to start doing something now. Don't wait for something to happen. And this is what we can do right now. So we're talking about going from the left-hand side of the cash flow quadrant, left-hand side to the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant. Now, guys, Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is his book called The Business of the 21st Century, right? And this is where Robert Kiyosaki talks about the network marketing industry, guys, and the freedom that you can achieve because you're multiplying your efforts. You're multiplying your efforts. When you help, as Zig Ziglar says, if you help enough people achieve what they want in life, you will automatically get what you want. And I'm not going to go too much into this detail, but that's what's behind me. A lot of people say, Chris, what are those letters behind you written behind you? ESBR. E stands for entrepreneur. That's the left-hand side of the cash flow quadrant. Entrepreneur means you're trading time for money. The moment you're not working, the money stops. That's reality. Now, guys, think about this very carefully. This I find very sad. You want to purchase a home. You get a bond. We call it a bond in South Africa. I think you call it a mortgage overseas. You get a mortgage. Guys, I want you to think about this very carefully. You get a mortgage for your home, and you have religiously, without missing a payment, you've paid this house off for 15, 16, maybe 17 years. You've been paying this house off, okay? You haven't missed a payment. You only got 3 years to go. And something goes wrong. As it does happen in people's lives, something goes wrong. And you get debilitated, disability. You get retrenched. Something happens. And guess what happens? You miss 3 payments, guys. You've paid this house off for 17 years. You've made all these payments, thousands of rands. You miss 3 payments, 3. They take your home away from you, and you've lost everything. Guys, can you see how corrupted the system is? It's been designed that way. They're waiting for you to slip. They're waiting for you to fall so that they can repossess the property, on-sell it, and that's the way they just roll the money because they don't care. That's just the way it is. It happened to me 3 years. Look at that. There we go. Look, Ingy just said it now. Yep. 3 years to pay your bond, and they'll take it away from you. So guys, don't let that happen. Get something going. And here we are with LifeWave right now. So you know what we're sitting with right now is a gift. That's all I can tell you. And getting started is it's not easy in the beginning. That's what I want to share with you guys. The first 6 months is going to be probably the hardest part, because this is where you're laying the foundation. And this is where you've got to have invisible faith. And what I mean by invisible faith is it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen overnight. We have to be realistic, guys. This is traditional network marketing. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is traditional network marketing. And as we know, LifeWave is the number one. It's the fastest growing network marketing company in the world. That's where we're sitting right now. And the scary thing is, nobody's heard about it. Nobody's heard about it. So we are in the fastest growing company in the industry, but it's still brand new. I know that sounds, can you see how different LifeWave is on every single level? Completely different. The way I can explain it is everything we do here is accelerated. It's accelerated. Now, the last little while, we've spent a lot of time in airports. Guys, you know those flat escalators? The ones that kind of, those flat ones. Mm-hmm. And then you stand on the escalator and it's moving, right? And what happens is, so you walking, and then you've got the person walking next to you, right? And you're walking normal pace, and it's so funny. You see the person walking next to you. They're trying to walk extra fast to keep up with you. Look at the power they're exerting. They're running themselves off like this. And you're just taking a little stroll, but you're walking at the same pace. That's what it's like with LifeWave. We don't have to run as fast as other people in the industry. We walk at a certain pace, because guess what? This beautiful vehicle called LifeWave is already moving us forward at a speed already, so that we don't have to kill ourselves, because we have no competition. Guys, do you know how beautiful it is? You have a product that is protected by 150 patents. So you're thinking, why 150 patents? Let me tell you why. I was going to put a patent on my children's toy car. Oh my word. How expensive it is, a patent. It is actually expensive, but you want to do what you call a broad spectrum patent. Guys, David Schmidt patented the color, the size, the shape, the texture, every single thing you can think of, there's a patent on to protect it. And guys, patents are there for 20 years. You can reapply for an extension of 20 years and another extension after that. So guys, we're safe. We're safe for a long time. And yeah, that's where we are right now, with just the most amazing, and the technology that's still to come. The technology that is still to come, which is amazing. We're sitting right here at the beginning. So guys, we're talking about something different. You make that name list, you get it out there. I was talking earlier, so I said to you guys I was going to bounce back and forth. So kind of like that's where my brain is today. I made my name list. I sent it out to people. I signed up 62 people. But guys, I didn't speak to 62 people, and 62 people signed up. I spoke to 500 people. I spoke to 500. Guys, you're going to get rejection. And I think that's one of the biggest things that hold people back is the rejection. People are so scared about what other people are going to say to them, and people saying no. Guys, what I want to share with you tonight is this is the biggest nugget tonight. The biggest nugget that I want you guys to get out of tonight is, guys, do not take the rejection personally. Don't take rejection personally. Have a thick skin. When they say no, you know what they're saying? Not right now. There's a saying in this industry, SW, 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 next. What does that stand for? Some will, some won't. So what? Next. That's what it means. All we're doing is just sharing with people, guys, little bits of info. I did that training with Wilson a little while ago, talking about the power of the voice note and drip feeding people, giving little bits of information and not overwhelming people. I'm not going to talk about that tonight in too much detail. You can watch that recording, but is, just not worrying about the rejection. Guys, I mean, to give you an idea, I started in November, okay, 2022. I was on the patches. My mom started getting a result. It was the end of December. Now picture this, guys. I'm a month into LifeWave. I'm still a newbie. I'm a month into LifeWave. I go see a very good friend of mine. His name's Stephen. Known him for 10 years. Known him for 10 years. I go and have coffee with him. I go have coffee with Stephen. And we're sitting at the table and he goes, Chris, what are you up to? You look pretty perky and bouncy. What have you been smoking this morning? I'm like, yeah, I'm not smoking anything. I'm on patches. I'm like bouncing around. Even these patches, it's going to reactivate your stem cells. You can reverse age. Look at this. And I lean forward. Guys, listen to this. I'm a month in. I lean forward to get in the patch. You know what he does? He puts his hand like this and he pulled back. And I was like, that's weird. All I wanted him to do was just touch the patch. So I sort of left it. And we carry on. We're drinking coffee and everything. I tell him a little bit more. And then I said to him, then I picked up the sleeve and I said, Stephen, X39 patches are going to reverse your age. He's 15 years older than me. So I leaned forward again to put the sleeve in his hand, pulled back again. And I thought, my goodness gracious. Then he makes a joke with me. And he goes, reverse aging. Chris, keep patching. In 3 years' time, I'll have coffee with you in the kindergarten. And I'll see you in your nappies if you're talking about that type of reverse aging. So he kind of like laughed at me and shrugged me off. I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know how to take it. I get home and Lucinda says to me, Chris, how was coffee with Stephen? It was interesting. What did he think of the patches? I said he wouldn't even touch them. So then Lucinda said, what? I said he wouldn't even touch my patches. Guys, I felt it a little bit, trust me. But I thought, oh, let me move on. I was already on the phone. Next person, next person, next person. But let me tell you what happened. I get a message from him on the 27th of December. His wife bought him a book called Life Force by Tony Robbins. He sent me a picture of the book. And guess what Tony Robbins talks about in chapter 2 and chapter 3? Copper peptide and stem cell therapy. He says, Chris, send me information about those stem cell patches. So Chris can talk till I'm blue in the face, means nothing. But he saw something that Tony Robbins wrote, and all of a sudden he wanted to listen. So guys, don't take the rejection personally. One more little story. So now it's Christmas Day. We go for lunch to my uncle's house. My uncle, that's my mom's brother. Okay, so we go for lunch to my mom's brother's house. My uncle is already making comments about my mom, saying, wow, you're looking good. My mom says, Chris has put me on these patches. So my mom's telling my uncle all about the patches. I start talking about it. He looks at me and goes, what a load of crap. I said, whoa, just hang on a second here. He was very straight to me. I couldn't believe it. He didn't even give me a chance to even talk. It's going to happen, guys. Family, red flag. Remember I told you about family early on? Careful, warning bells. And so, guys, listen to this. You've got to hear this. So it's Christmas Day. My aunt has had arthritis for over 10 years. Her knuckles are swollen. You know when a person's fingers get all skew from the arthritis? That's my aunt. So what do, I patch my aunt on her hand, put it on. 3 hours later, my aunt is going, I can feel the pain starting to go away. What is this, Chris? You know what my uncle did? He says, take that crap off your body. Yeah, that's the rejection I got. So guys, like I say, be a little bit careful when it comes to family. But you know what? Just get past it. What I want to finish off with is something very important. I want to leave a couple of nuggets. I hope you guys have been writing some stuff down, and I hope you guys have got a little bit out of it. And I see that we are just on an hour. I'm probably going to take like five more minutes of your time. And thank you for everybody that's taken the time to be on this call. I know it's a Friday night, but I just felt I just needed to share this with everybody tonight. Been my 2-year journey, and thank you for everybody that's been walking on this amazing journey, this amazing path with us. I would say the biggest thing, guys, is I want you, everybody on the call, to get a piece of paper tonight. Here's a little blank piece of paper. Write your destiny down. I made Uli do it the other day. There are a lot of people on the call I've asked you to do it. Get a piece of paper out. You've got a clean slate in front of you and you can create what you want in your life. What I want you to do is I want you to write down very small. And I want you to put a dollar amount for what you'd like to earn per month from LifeWave. I'd like you to write that down. And what I want you to do is I want you to put it on your mirror in the bathroom. Put it on your mirror in your bathroom. Now, what happens is the moment you get your pen and you write it down, you're writing out your order. God, universe, your higher power, whatever it is you believe in. You writing out your order of what you want to achieve in your life. But you might be sitting on the call going, oh, Chris, don't tell me to write this stuff down. I've got problems with my kids. I've got problems with my parents. I've got problems with my car, my bond, my this. You don't understand what's going on in my life right now. You're telling me to get all childish and write stuff down. Guys, it's the simple things in life that we overlook that are the most powerful. The simple things are the most powerful things. I don't know how to explain it, but the first time in my life when I ever understood goal setting was when I did that 27 years ago and I achieved what I wrote down. I thought, what? Then when I was in the direct sales company, I wrote stuff down. I achieved it. So the two times in my life, the two times over my 30 years of being alive in the workplace, every time I wrote it down, I've only done it twice in my life, I wrote it down and I achieved my goals. Guys, this is the third time that I've ever done goal setting and written it down. And let me tell you something. When you write down $1,000 for the month, you write it down, it starts to happen. I don't know how to explain it to you. And I watched it when I wrote that down, $1,000. When I started off, per week, per week. I want you to write down per week. I forgot, guys. We don't earn monthly. We earn weekly. Why do you want to only get paid 12 times a year when you can get paid 52 times a year? Guys, 12 times versus 52. I mean, hello. That also means to get paid weekly. Just shows you how the structures have been like, yeah, I'm not even going to go there. Let me stop right there. So weekly, guys, weekly. Write down what you want to achieve weekly. And I remember writing down $500 for the week. And then it gets to the $500 and you're going, yoo-hoo, yes. Yeah, and then you write down $1,000 for the week. Guys, I remember when I hit $1,000 for the month, I thought I was going to jump for joy. And that didn't happen within the first year, guys. So hear me. This didn't happen for the year, $1,000 for the week. When I hit $1,000 for the month, I jumped for joy. But the thought of earning $1,000 a week, I thought, oh my goodness gracious. Well, some of you heard we went to Tampa in August last year. That's when we were earning about $600, $700 a week. We spent all of our money to get there. That's when we went to our first event, came back, and that's when we just saw the bigger picture of everything. And then coming back, I wrote down $1,000 a week. And then I wrote down $5,000 a week. And I thought, wow, that is, imagine earning $5,000 for the week. That is just like mind-blowing. Lucinda wrote that down months ago. And that was already about 5-6 months ago. That was kicked off already 6 months ago, 5,000 a week. Now, we wrote down $10,000 a week. Yeah, 3 weeks ago when I hit that first 10,000 for the week, I thought, my goodness gracious. Wow. Guys, dollars, not 10,000 Rand, $10,000 US dollars for the week. I would never, ever in my wildest dreams, ever thought of earning $10,000 a week. And here I am 2 years later. I'm like, oh my word. Oh my goodness gracious. There's just no words to actually describe it. And all I'm in a state of gratitude. And guys, what I want you to do is I'll show you, I'll pull this off my fan. This is what typed out in front of me. I want you guys to see if you can read this. All right, have a look at that. I, Christopher Robin Hattingh, now earn $15,000 per week through LifeWave by attracting network marketing go-getters with passion, discipline, and desire. This is what I have, guys. Thank you, Lucinda. Can you see the beautiful calligraphy that Lucinda wrote this in? And she got it laminated for me. Okay. This is on my fan that I look at. This is like stuck on my fan. It's already, check what, this needs to be changed now. This was on my key. Oh, the press stick. Yikes. Okay. I just took it off my keyboard. There you go. So that's stuck on my keyboard. It's on my mirror in the bathroom. It's in my bathroom, in my cupboard where I go and find my socks. I need to see, you need to brush your teeth every day. So you see it every day. I need to put socks and undies on every day. I hope most of you do. So put it there because that's where you can be every day. My coffee machine. Okay, that I see often. I've got the note on my coffee machine. That I see lots of times during the day. Guys, it goes into your subconscious mind. You might not be consciously aware of it every day. Don't know how to explain this to you. Write it down and magic will happen. Let everything else unfold. Let it unfold. Just write it down. That's one thing that I want to share with you guys today. And the biggest thing is stay connected. Stay connected, stay plugged in, training. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Okay, me again. It's Saturday afternoon, about 18 hours has gone by, and I was just about to upload the talk from last night, and somebody sent me a message this morning saying, Chris, thank you for that amazing talk you did last night, but I wanted to ask you, what did you mean when you said the word plug in? And I didn't elaborate on it. So I need to just touch on the word plug in and what exactly it means. But plugging in means being connected to the system, being connected to the Zoom calls. Here in South Africa, we have a Zoom call on a Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. This is where you can invite guests to come onto the call. And this is where we do the presenting for you. As I was mentioning, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Let us do the work for you. Let us serve you. And then on Thursday nights, we do training on all different topics. And then on Saturdays, we connect with the USA team. This is it, where we do trainings as well. So that's what I meant by being plugged in, making sure that you're on a WhatsApp group, make sure you are going to live events if there are live events in your area. And subscribing to the YouTube channel. So we've got the This Is It team YouTube channel and Facebook page. So plugging in that way, just putting that little bit of time in, and just also touching a little bit more, talking about the time putting in is how much time are you going to be putting into LifeWave per day? This is something that only you can answer. You've got to be completely honest with yourself. Like I said last night, what you put in is in direct proportion to what you get out. If you put 5 minutes a day, you're going to get X, Y, and Z results. I would say minimum, if you're doing this on a part-time basis, you need to put that at least an hour per day. That's what I would recommend. But from the words of John Maxwell, I love what he said in one of the trainings a while end of last year. He said, you don't have to do LifeWave all day, but you need to do it every day. So what he means by that is you might only have 5 minutes to put in today, but maybe tomorrow you can put in 2 hours. So it kind of like evens itself out, but keeping that consistency, which is the most important thing. And connecting to the PRO system. What does PRO stand for? PRO is patching, revisiting, and opportunity. So that means you're either patching somebody physically or you're sharing information about LifeWave. And when you're sharing, having no expectation on the outcome, as I mentioned early on, you've got to talk to a whole lot of people, and people are at different stages. So a lot of people, like I said, when people say no, they're just saying not right now. They might be in a different cycle in their life. And what I find quite interesting is here I am 2 years later, a lot of people that I spoke to a year and a half ago that said to me, no, they're not interested, are now coming back to me, which is the most amazing thing to see. So, like I say, people are in different headspaces at any given time. So the P is presenting to a person or patching a person. R meaning revisit means following up with a person, which is very important, is the follow-up. Training I heard a while back, they said the fortune is in the follow-up. And lastly, the opportunity, sharing the opportunity of what you can get with LifeWave. So opportunity with 2 pillars. So we're talking about your health and your wealth. So, LifeWave has got 2 products. I said that the other day to somebody, and someone said, Chris, but I thought there were 10 different patches. No, those are the different patches. What I mean by product is the product is the product, the physical patches. These are the products. And then the other product is the business side of it, because this is where we're helping people on every different level. We're helping people with health, and we're helping people with their wealth, because they're quite entangled. The word health and wealth look the same and sound the same. And there's a reason for that, because it's so interlinked. Because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, that means nothing. And on the other side, you can be as healthy as anything. But if you don't have money, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you cannot survive properly in this world. Yes, money is not everything, make no mistake, but it is important. Another saying by Zig Ziglar, he said, it's right up there with air. It's very important. It's the way that we can function in the society. So this way, LifeWave is helping you with both things, with your health and your wealth. So finishing off this little section, I just wanted to add in is a lot of the training. So like I say, this I didn't really want to bring across as a training, but more my story. But there are a lot of trainings that you can watch, and that's been part of being plugged in. This is it team, the website. This is itteam.com. All the different trainings you can think of are on there, and also on the YouTube channel. All the trainings that we have done over the last, specifically the last year and a half, and a lot of nuggets. And on the YouTube channel is Global Team 333. You can go and search for it, and then you can subscribe, and you can watch all the replays. All of this also is going to be available in the updated toolbox, which is a document I put together about a year ago, which I've been updating, and that will be available within the next week. And that will have absolutely everything you can think of at your fingertips. So, like I say, treat LifeWave like a job. In the beginning, treat this like a job, and it's going to pay dividends. And like I said in the training last night, it's just talking to enough people, because at the end of the day, it's just sharing it with absolutely everybody you know. And what I love about the law of averages is its statistics, and statistics don't lie. And you speak to X amount of people are going to join, and then in the same token, the amount of people that join the business, you've got what you call the Pareto principle, which is your 80-20 rule. It's a law, the Pareto principle. This is a law or principle that you can go and Google. It's been around for decades in every industry you can think of. It's like gravity. You drop this pen, it's going to drop onto the table, because that's called gravity. It's a law. So Pareto principle means if you register 10 people, 2 out of those 10 are going to do this with or without you. They're just going to completely run with the business. And in between that, you can get people wanting to use a product, registering person here and there. But you sign up a batch of 10 people, and you're going to have a business running automatically on its own. And that goes into what we call having a 20-20 vision, is 20 people left, 20 people right. You don't want to go into a training, but you can see all of that on thisisitteam.com. So I also just wanted to say thank you to every single part of our team. We call everybody our black sheep. So we have our black sheep in the team. Why do I say black sheep? Because we are the people that think differently. We think out of the system. We think out of the box, and we're very different and unique. And I just want to say thank you to every single person that's part of our beautiful, amazing team of people, like-minded and like-hearted. Also, I would like to say thank you to my partner, Lucinda, for all the hard work that she's been putting in the background and walking this road together with me side by side. And we wouldn't have what we have if it wasn't for her. The dedication, the commitment, and the desire and the work that she puts into the background. And I would love to just say thank you so much to her for all of that. George, my upline, personally signed me up into LifeWave. George, thank you for your persistence and not giving up on me. And then also I'd love to say thank you to our USA team, Javi and Olga Solis from New Jersey, which we're going to be seeing in South Africa in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for all the hard work and everything that you've put into our team and into this country. We appreciate you so much. And then a big shout out to Steve and Gina Merritt. Steve and Gina Merritt are our, our uplines in the USA. This is it team, which we all belong to. And Steve and Gina Merritt have created the fastest growing team in the whole LifeWave globally. So I just wanted to have a shout out and just say thank you to all these people and thank you to all of you. So I'm going to edit this. I'm going to put this into the video clip, and then you can watch the rest, the last like 2-3 minutes from last night. Okay. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So in other words, you've got everybody here helping you and holding your hands. And everybody is here to help you on every level, which is so different to the world out there. And just embrace this and just believe that you can do it. Because guess what, guys? It took me 17 months to hit senior presidential director. It took me 17 months to hit the top rank. Every single person on this call can do it quicker than me. You can do it quicker than me. You know why? Because I had to pave the way in South Africa, let people know it could be done. A lot of people said it can never be done. Oh, I love it when people say to me it can't be done, because I'm one of these people that I am a rule breaker. The rules to break. Beautiful book, this. I try and stick within the parameters. I see like, the speed limits, they sort of like, they're suggestions. I'm always in a hurry, like George. And I stay within the parameters, but I don't stick within the confines of traditional structures. I completely think out the box. So I just want to finish off tonight with saying writing it down, and number 2, reading books. Guys, this book over here, 4 Agreements, one of my most favorite books. Reading that, and my another book over here that Lucinda got me just before going to here we go, Happy Sexy Millionaire. She got me this book written by Stephen Bartlett, Happy Sexy Millionaire. He wrote the book called Diary of a CEO. Guys, you've heard the saying, readers are leaders. Readers are leaders. Guys, this book, absolutely stunning, absolutely brilliant. Over here, he talks about over here, people would rather be dead than be wrong. Rather be dead than be wrong. But guys, this book, brilliant. This book over here, Happy Sexy Millionaire, he talks about the power of your story. And that's what I want to finish off with. He talks about, in this book, the power of your story. And that's what I want to impart tonight is, guys, facts tell and stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. People don't care about how the photobiomodulation and the this and the that and the this and that and how it gets made in the manufacturing process and da. All they want to know is it safe. Put this on your body and this is what it does. People remember stories, guys. Don't puke on people. I know we can get very excited. We just want to share so much information with people. Be careful about doing that. It's called drip feeding. Share little bits of information with people. Tiny little bits of information, like George was saying, just pointing. And just remember to share the story with people. And guys, we're right here in the beginning. As I said, we've just come back from the USA, the 20-year anniversary. And my goodness gracious, we are absolutely speechless for where this company is going. All I can say is we're in the right place at the right time with the right company, with the right product. And guys, we're here in the beginning, and I'm looking forward to walking this very long, exciting journey with every one of you. And I really hope that you were able to get something out of the call tonight. Like I said, I bounced around all over the place. I just shared from my heart tonight, and I hope you all got something out of it. So from my side, I want to say thank you to every single one of you, and good night. God bless, and looking forward to seeing you all. I love each and every one of you. Good night, everybody. Bye, guys.